Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about Chanel Holiday. On Sunday, I picked up the first half of my Chanel Holiday beauty haul. I visited the boutique at the Miami Design District. They did not have the larger 9-pan eyeshadow palettes in store just yet. I'm told they are coming soon, and what an exciting surprise. I had no idea those were coming. I cannot wait. As soon as they arrive, I will be picking them up. But I think it worked out for the best because at least for today's video, I can give you a thorough review of the eyeshadow quad, which is also really beautiful. I was able to see the rest of the collection in store, and this is everything that I picked up. Starting with this limited edition $3.97 Nuit Astral eyeshadow palette. This is so stunning in person. It looks beautiful in photos, but I think in person you can really see how dazzling and interesting this color story is. Sparkly blues and purples, the deep slate gray. It is such an unexpected color story, but I kind of love it. I'm excited to play around with these colors. I really enjoyed the sparkly pop of blue we had in the summer eyeshadow quad last year. So I'm thinking this is kind of the midnight, starry night, evening version of that. I love the beautiful design embossed on top of the powder. It is absolutely gorgeous. All of the ornate details, the stars, the wheat, the camellia, the pearls, the Chanel CCs. The design is so beautiful. It pains me to have to swatch these eyeshadows, but I think this palette is going to be much more wearable than it might look in the pan. Both of these blushes were so beautiful in person. They're very sparkly. I could not decide, so I figured I should go ahead and purchase both. This is the Les Signes de Chanel Illuminating Powder Blush in 998 Pêche Lumière and 997 Rose Lumiere. There's a peach and a pink. I haven't decided which one, but I think one of these might go into my collection that I don't touch. So when you open it up, you do get a separate brush, your standard flat travel brush from Chanel. These are really nice quality, and I do appreciate that it comes with its own velvet protector. That's nice. Then you open up the compact. This is Pêche Lumière. There's a pearl stripe right through the center and then the beautiful design embossed on the powder. I don't know if the camera is going to truly pick up how sparkly this is. I don't know if that's an overspray. I feel like it must be a spray on top. The embossing is the same as the eyeshadow palette. You have the pearls, the star with CC logo, camellia, a lion, and some wheat. Yeah, the glitter is just an overspray, which is a good thing because it's so sparkly. So the first time you use it, it is going to be sparkly, but then after that, it's basically just the blush with a little highlighter stripe through the center. I don't think I'll be purchasing any more blushes in 2026, but I kind of couldn't resist these. The holiday pieces are always so beautiful and tempting. And one of these I would like to keep for my collection, so I'll even probably hold on to the powder protector. This pink is so pretty. It's a really beautiful pale pink. Kind of reminds me of maybe that tweed pink blush that they came out with years ago where it's very pale. I know this would be so beautiful on the cheek, but I think this might be the one that I hold on to. Same exact design, just two different shades to choose from, peach or pêche, and then the pink. The final holiday piece I picked up is this nail polish. This is 371 Cosmique. There are two different shades. One is a bright metallic orange, which didn't really speak to me, but this kind of midnight dark purpley blue I think is a really cool color, very chic. I think this would also look really pretty maybe on the toenails for fall winter. I'm excited. I love fall nails. These nude nails have been very pretty. I basically live in light pinks and light nudes year round. So when it comes to fall, winter, and holiday nails, I'm excited to switch things up and go a little bit darker. The only other thing I purchased was this loose powder. This is the Poudre Universal Libre Natural Finish Loose Powder in shade 10 Light. It comes in a refillable compact, which is pretty cool. I love this powder, and I think it's nice to have something a little bit smaller. This is much easier to travel with. There's also a mascara. There are two liquid eyeliners that I skipped. It looks like a fiery red and maybe a metallic pink. very unique shades for liquid eyeliner. I didn't think they would work for me. The sparkly orange nail polish I skipped. There are 4 lipsticks, 2 bullet lipsticks, and then 2 really metallic, kind of glittery looking liquid lipsticks. I did my best to play it cool, only pick up a few pieces from this collection because not only is my eye on so many other brands, but even Chanel is launching these giant eyeshadow palettes that I'm excited to see. Now let's get into this demonstration. I recently received this box from BK Beauty. It's the Nikki LaRose Pro Artist Series Volume 2, and there are some really nice looking eyeshadow brushes in here. So I'm gonna unbox this and maybe use some of these today. Inside it comes with 8 makeup brushes total, 4 for the face and 4 for the eyes. The face brushes look really good too. I might use these for the blush and highlighter later on. I know this video is about the palette, not the brushes, but I will say if you have a lot of makeup brushes already, something I appreciate about this particular set is that they give you interesting, unique kind of detail brushes. It would have been silly to include a bunch of fluffy brushes. You probably already have fluffy brushes, but maybe you don't have these interesting shapes. This N21 looks really good. I don't have a lot of brushes like this. I think this would be perfect for doing a little darker eyeshadow as eyeliner and kind of smudging it along the top lash line. I've been using other brushes in my collection that I don't really like that much. I just sort of make do with them, but I actually think this will be perfect for that. I'm starting with the brush from the set. This is the N24. It's a flat shader brush. And I'm going straight into this sparkly blue right here in the top corner. I'm just going to throw this right on the lid. Why not? Oh. The brush did a good job picking it up. I was about to say this may end up working better with fingers, but I kind of just want to see what the texture is like. That is nice and sheer. When I was swatching these to show you what they look like on the arm, I noticed that they felt very dry. It's definitely a drier formula. Not very creamy, not very pigmented, which I actually prefer for a color story like this. You know, you have a palette with blues and purples. I actually like that they apply more sheer, more luminous. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to try to build it up a bit on the lid with my finger. Ooh, yeah, so you can definitely take it there. Oh wow, see now this is blue. I like it though, it's very pretty. I'm gonna be living my best mermaid life this holiday season. Yeah, very gorgeous. It's so sparkly, it's so much fun, and the sparkle is blue. It has kind of a blue silver sheen to it. Unexpected, but I like that Chanel is giving us something different for the holidays this year. I am so curious to see the official campaign images. I always get so much inspiration seeing what the makeup artists create for the models, especially when it comes to jewel tones or shades that I don't typically wear. Next, I'm picking up this N22 brush from the set, and I'm going into this shade down here. It's more of a periwinkle blue. It's so pretty, and I'm just gonna pick this up and just sort of buff it beneath the lower lash line. This is such a pretty color. Again, it's applying more sheer. This isn't as sparkly as the blue. It's more of a satiny metallic. It still has luminosity, but not sparkle. It's really pretty. I think that would look pretty on the lid as well. I'm trying to experiment with as many shades as possible. You obviously don't need to use all 4 shades whenever you pull out this palette. I like this color. I think this could be really pretty on the lid as maybe even a one and done type of eye look, something light. It's very whimsical, ethereal, kind of fairy ice queen makeup, which seems to be the common theme this year. A lot of brands coming out with blues and purples. With the N23 brush, I'm picking up this purple over here, and I'm going to apply that to kind of the outer V, outer lid. Kind of curious to see if it's possible to build up any depth with this palette. Okay, so I think it's a little darker. You can distinguish between the two shades when you layer this deeper purple. Maybe it's because I've been so boring with my eyeshadow lately. I haven't done anything different for the last few weeks, but I'm kind of loving the way this looks. It's just so much fun. It's definitely a weekend, evening out, kind of party type of look. This is not going to replace my everyday eyeshadow, but it's really beautiful and it's fun to experiment with these colors. Considering how sparkly these eyeshadows are, there's really not a ton of glitter falling on my cheeks. And considering how dry this formula is, there's really not a lot of fallout, which I appreciate. It's always so tempting to go in the crease with the matte shade. I've picked up a Rephr 01 brush. I'm going into our fourth final shade. I just want to see what this looks like. This is really the only matte formula in this quad. It's kind of unnecessary. I don't know if this is going to ruin it. I don't think you really need anything in the crease for this look. I think I'll get more use out of that shade with a different look. Right now, I'm just using it to very lightly, gently blend out the crease. In the future, I could see myself using one, maybe two, maybe dab a little something on the lid, maybe a pop of blue on the inner corner, call it a day. I wouldn't necessarily do blue, purple all over the eye, depending on the occasion. I think with a colorful eye, you want to keep the cheek very neutral, you want to keep the lip neutral. The eye is really the focal point of the makeup at this point. Like, I would not pair this, personally, I would not pair this eye look with a bold red lip or a sparkly magenta lip, which was part of the reason why it was so easy to skip the lipsticks that launched with this collection. I'm not necessarily going to use them, but this eyeshadow palette is going to pair really nicely with these Stilo Ombre contour sticks. Neon Dahlia and Nuage Bleu from a couple summers ago. If you picked these up, they match beautifully with this eyeshadow quad, and I think they would be a lot of fun. Kind of thinking maybe the purple smudged along the lash line. Yeah, that's really pretty. If you feel like really committing to the bit and sticking with blues and purples, and you happen to have Neon Dahlia, this would be a really beautiful purple eyeliner. These are really versatile. You can also use them in the waterline. We are fully committing to the purple. Just to kick it up a notch, might as well. See what it looks like. We're taking it full evening. It gives a little eye definition, but it blends in so well with the eyeshadow palette. You can barely tell that there's any separate eyeliner on. Neon Dahlia. I added some mascara. Eyes are now completely done. I was wondering why my makeup looked so funny, and it's because I don't have any blush on my cheeks. So now let's go into this Le Sign de Chanel in Pêche Lumière. This is number 998, the Illuminating Powder Blush. Very beautiful. There's definitely a sparkly overspray, but I've kind of rubbed it away in the top corner. Something I will say about both of the shades, the Pêche and the Rose, they are incredibly light. So I'm not sure these are really going to show up as a true blush on the cheek. And of course, they have the giant stripe of highlighter in the center. So we're just going to see. I'm going to go in with a brush and just sort of swirl around. Yeah. The sparkle is now completely gone. But you can also see my brush doesn't look like it has that much color on it. And that's kind of what I'm afraid of. Let's see. Darn it. This is not a true blush. This is more of a highlighter. I don't want to keep building it up because, you know, if you build up highlighter on the cheek, you're not going to get more intensity. It's just going to end up looking really cakey and bad. I'll add a little bit more, but I mean, you can see I'm rubbing the brush in. The brush is still light. This powder looks very bronzy, kind of like beigey pesh, I guess, in the pan. When you kind of swatch it with your finger, it looks pearl. It looks more like a pearly, kind of beigey pearl. Doesn't give me peach vibes. It's more neutral, but this is not translating to blush. And it is called an illuminating powder blush. So I'm assuming it's luminous, but it's still a powder blush. It's in the name. It's okay. I mean, this is going to be more of a highlighting product, even this. So you know what? I was only going to use one because I wanted to save, but for the sake of at least being able to show you, I might as well just try this other shade so we can see. Do you see this actually left just kind of like a pearly finish? It didn't really change the makeup at all. There's just too much luminosity now all over the cheek. In the future, whenever I use that, I will probably just use it as a highlighter or maybe use it on the eyes, but I won't use it as a blush. I feel like I know what's going to happen with this, and it's not good. But here we go. Okay, so let me just rub into this top pink part. Not a lot of pigment showing up on the brush. Okay, actually, there's a little something there. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Between the two, dang it. I'm going to be brutally honest with you, okay? I hate to say this, I don't like either of them. They're very beautiful in the pan. I don't like either of them as a blush. I don't find it to be all that flattering. Like the pink is actually probably the best one, which surprises me, especially with the colorful eye. I thought I would lean towards the pesh. The pink, I think it looks a little bit more flattering because it is giving me like pink, but I would maybe use this as a cheek topper and more of a true highlighter. This is not going to replace a blush, and this is not going to be a blush in my collection. I could keep layering them on my cheek and it would end up looking like garbage. So I don't really want to throw away the face makeup right now, but this is the pink. There's a lot of glow, and it's a very pretty kind of soft focus glow, but you don't get a lot of pink pigment. Same thing with the pesh. You get a little bit of like a champagne sheen on the cheek. It looks more like a highlighter. It's the equivalent of like rubbing your brush into a highlighter and then buffing it on the cheek. It's not going to be the most flattering look. Beautiful in the pan, both of them. I mean, I purchased both of them, so I'm kind of kicking myself. I had high expectations of both of these, obviously. I was clearly wrong. I think they're so-so. I would probably save my money on this. I mean, they're very beautiful. I think if you did purchase them or you feel drawn to them, you're going to enjoy them. If you are expecting a blush, you might be disappointed, especially if you have a deeper skin tone than me. Like, these are definitely not going to show up as a blush for you. They're just so pale. You really don't get a lot of true blush pigment. And maybe that's a good thing because maybe you already purchased way too many blushes this year and you prefer to have a blush topper. These are blush toppers, highlighters, kind of glowy finishing powders, something that you could just dust a little something once the makeup is done. Kind of like a pressed meteorites. Think of it that way. I'm going to try to build up the pink a little bit more. Clean side, just in case somebody doesn't believe me. But unfortunately, I have a lot of experience with these pale pink blushes from Chanel. Oh. See, yeah, I made it worse. No, this is not something, is the camera gonna pick that up? Oh God, it looks bad. It's looking very dusty, crusty. When you add too much pearl, it ends up looking sort of muddy and dull and kind of gray. And that's kind of how this is looking. It's not looking pretty. It's looking way too pearl and gray and dull and kind of the opposite of what you want from a blush. I don't want to sound negative. I don't want to talk anybody out of purchasing these. If you see them and you think they look really incredible, just know that they're very, very light. And if you have color to your skin, it could end up looking sort of dusty gray. It's not going to give you color. It's just going to give you glow. And the glow that it gives is powdery. So you're not going to want to really build it up on the cheek too much, because now it just looks like I have a ton of pale powder on my cheeks. Don't want to be too dramatic. As a blush topper, it's going to be great, but you are going to need to go in with a blush underneath, and it could be that you go in with maybe a cream or a liquid cheek, and then you finish your makeup, and then you just dust a little bit of this on top. That could look really beautiful. And especially for holiday makeup, if you're going for something very, very glowy, very luminous, a great finishing powder, not a blush replacement, not really a highlighter replacement. So just keep that in mind. I would hate for anybody to purchase this and be disappointed. I want to say these are around $70, $75 each. I'm back. I went in with Radiant Pink from Gucci. I added a little bit of that on both cheeks just so I could have a little color, a little bit more of that traditional blush that I'm used to seeing on my face. And I do feel like it helped pull everything together. I powdered my T-zone a little bit, did a little more bronzer. So the complexion, I think we saved it, at least for now. Lesson learned. That's the point of the demonstration. Both of those powders are beautiful. They are incredibly luminous, very, very pale. You're not going to get a true impactful blush sort of pigmentation from them. Now you're all aware. I did not have time to paint my nails yet, but before I post this video, I will paint my nails with the Cosmic nail polish so I can show you what that looks like. In conclusion, by far, the best thing that I picked up so far from the Chanel Holiday Collection is this eyeshadow quad. The more I get used to seeing myself in these colors, it's really growing on me. I feel like this is a quad that I will get use out of. I'll be excited to wear. It's definitely something different. It's a departure from my typical neutrals, which is nice. That's what I love about holiday makeup. It's not something that I'm probably going to reach for on a regular basis, but for date nights, for parties, for events, social gatherings, I think these are really beautiful colors to experiment with. I don't think you have to go even as blue as what I'm wearing today. Just a little pop of blue maybe on the inner corner, maybe a pop of blue in the tear duct area or to buff out the lower lash line, something like that. It could be a little pop strategic placement of color. It doesn't have to be all over. The good news is you get a sheer wash of color with this formula. So, I mean, we went in with all 4 shades and I don't feel like I have a really intense, outrageous looking blue smoky eye. So huge fan of this quad. And I also just really like these shades of blue, how they're kind of periwinkle purple. It is giving starry night, midnight, beautiful, ethereal, kind of cosmic shades of blue. It's really beautiful. And if none of this speaks to you, that's okay too. This is just the beginning. We have so many more holiday makeup collections coming soon. So that completes this initial review. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned. Everything on my face will be tagged directly to the video, listed down below in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.